The microphone was never supposed to be on. The courtroom expected closure. The prosecutor adjusted his tie, calm, confident, almost smiling. "Your Honor," he said, voice smooth as polished glass. "The state calls its final witness." Everyone leaned forward. Because final witnesses end stories. They confirm guilt. They erase doubt. The accused sat motionless at the defense table, hands folded, eyes tired. Weeks of trial had hollowed something inside him. An evidence stacked against him like bricks sealing a door shut. Security footage, witness statements, a timeline nobody could break. Even the jury already looked convinced. The judge nodded. "Proceed." The witness walked in slowly, nervous, avoiding eye contact, sworn under oath, sat down. The microphone lowered toward their mouth. A red light blinked on. And somewhere in the courtroom, something else turned on too. And before we continue, if you enjoy courtroom stories where the truth refuses to stay buried, subscribe now to the Unheard Witness and turn on notifications, because sometimes justice whispers before it screams. The prosecutor began gently. "You understand why you're here today?" "Yes." Soft voice, barely steady, perfect. The prosecutor smiled faintly. He knew this witness would end the trial. The testimony started simple: where they were, what they saw, and how the accused allegedly argued with the victim hours before the incident. Every answer tightened the noose. Jurors scribbled notes. The defense attorney barely interrupted, because there was nothing left to attack. Then came the question: "Did you see the accused leave the building that night?" "Yes." Clear, certain. Gasps, barely hidden across the room. The prosecutor stepped back, satisfied. He turned toward the judge. No further questions. Silence settled, heavy, permanent. The defense rose slowly. Cross-examination, last chance. "Are you absolutely certain about what you saw?" "Yes." No hesitation. The defense paused, searching, failing. Because certainty is dangerous, especially when it sounds rehearsed. The defense sat down, defeated. The judge sighed. Jury instructions were already prepared. Everyone felt it. The case was over. The prosecutor stood again. "One final clarification, Your Honor." Permission granted. He leaned toward the witness. Tell the court again. Who left the building?" The witness inhaled, opened their mouth, and the microphone crackled. A sharp burst of static. Everyone flinched. The technician near the wall frowned. Then, a voice came through the courtroom speakers. Not the witness, not the judge. A whisper. Low, close. "Just say what we practiced." The courtroom froze. The witness jerked backward, eyes wide. "I didn't." The prosecutor's face drained of color. "Technical malfunction," he snapped quickly. The technician rushed forward, but the speakers weren't finished. Another sound slipped through. Rustling fabric, footsteps, then clearer. "You want the charges gone, right?" A second voice, cold, familiar. The jury turned slowly toward the prosecutor, because it sounded like him. The room exploded into murmurs. The judge slammed the gavel. "Order!" The witness started shaking. "I swear, that's not..." The prosecutor interrupted loudly. "Your Honor, and this is sabotage." But doubt had already entered, and doubt spreads fast. The technician unplugged cables. Static died. Silence returned. Too late. The judge leaned forward. "Explain what the court just heard." The prosecutor swallowed. "A recording interference." He sounded less certain than before. The defense attorney stood slowly, hope returning, like oxygen after drowning. Your Honor, may we inspect the audio system? Permission granted, because now everyone wanted answers, and the technician checked connections, brows knit together. That's strange. What? The judge demanded. There's an external device connected. Gasps again. Hidden beneath the witness stand, a small recorder, still blinking red, recording, playing, capturing everything. The bailiff retrieved it carefully. Evidence bag. The prosecutor's confidence shattered, piece by piece. This proves nothing, he argued quickly, but sweat betrayed him. The judge ordered playback. The courtroom lights dimmed slightly as speakers activated again. A conversation filled the air, clear, undeniable. The prosecutor's voice, coaching, guiding, threatening. Stick to the timeline. If you change anything, the deal disappears. The witness covered their face, crying. I didn't want to lie, they whispered. Shock rippled outward. Jurors stared openly now. The defense didn't even speak. They didn't have to, because the truth had started talking on its own. But the story wasn't finished. The judge turned toward the witness. Did the state pressure you? Silence. Long, terrifying. Then a nod. Yes. Gasps louder this time. The prosecutor slammed his hand down. Objection. Denied instantly. The judge's patience vanished. Court will recess for investigation. Chairs scraped. Chaos. But before anyone could leave, another sound echoed. The recorder wasn't done. More audio began playing automatically. Different voices. Panicked. He wasn't even there that night. The entire courtroom froze again, because that voice belonged to a detective, the lead investigator. The defense attorney's chair tipped backward. What? The recording continued. Timeline doesn't match surveillance. Doesn't matter, the prosecutor's voice replied coldly. We need closure. The accused stared forward, breathing uneven, years of fear collapsing into disbelief. The judge slowly sat back down. Recess cancelled. You'd continue playback. Now, nobody moved. The recording described altered reports, ignored evidence, a missing security camera angle. The courtroom transformed from trial to exposure. The prosecutor stood shaking. This is illegally obtained. But nobody listened anymore, because truth had momentum now, and momentum doesn't ask permission. The defense requested immediate dismissal. The judge refused. Not yet, because something worse lingered. If evidence was manipulated, the judge said carefully, we must know why. That question hung heavy. Why frame an innocent man? The answer arrived seconds later. A court officer rushed inside, holding paperwork. Your Honor, we checked the deleted footage referenced in the recording. Everyone leaned forward. Recovered files displayed on the evidence screen. Grainy hallway footage. Time stamped. The accused nowhere near the scene. Instead, another figure entered the frame, face partially visible. The jury gasped again, because they recognized the person. Someone connected to the victim. Someone never investigated. The detective in the recording. The courtroom erupted. The accused covered his mouth, almost laughing, almost crying. Freedom stood inches away, but one final twist waited. The prosecutor collapsed into his chair, defeated, whispering something no microphone should have caught, except the recorder still sat powered on. It wasn't supposed to go this far. The judge heard it. Everyone heard it. And then suddenly, the entire case made sense. Pressure, career ambition, a rushed conviction, the wrong man chosen because he was convenient. The judge stood, voice colder than steel. All charges dismissed. Gasps turned into applause before being silenced. The accused didn't move, didn't celebrate, because relief sometimes arrives too slowly. The judge continued. This court orders immediate investigation into prosecutorial misconduct. Bailiffs approached the prosecutor. Shock replaced arrogance. As cuffs clicked, the jury watched history reverse itself. But the final shock came quietly. The technician stepped forward again. There's one more thing. No one wanted more, but truth insisted. The recorder wasn't activated manually today. The judge frowned. Explain. It was scheduled. Someone had planted it earlier, days earlier, meaning someone inside the courthouse knew everything. The doors opened softly. A maintenance worker stood there, silent, watching. Nobody noticed him before. He simply nodded once toward the accused, then walked away, gone before questions could form. The defense rushed outside. Empty hallway, no one there. No cameras captured him leaving. Just silence. Back inside, freedom paperwork began. The accused finally stood, hands trembling. The judge watched carefully. Do you wish to say anything? He thought for a long time, then spoke softly. I almost apologized today, just to end it. The courtroom listened. Yes, because fighting alone gets heavy. No one interrupted. But someone believed truth mattered more than comfort. He looked toward the empty doors, the unseen helper, justice delivered by a stranger. Outside, sunlight poured through courthouse steps. Freedom felt unreal. Reporters shouted questions. He ignored them, walking forward slowly. Because innocence doesn't celebrate loudly, it breathes. Behind him, investigators sealed offices, careers ended, files reopened, lives rewritten, and somewhere unseen, someone erased fingerprints from a small recorder. Because some witnesses never testify. They just make sure the truth is heard. And sometimes, the loudest testimony begins when the microphone captures something nobody planned to say.